Hi there, welcome back to Apatros Review. This episode, Double Exposure, directed by William Byron Hillman, the year 1982. It's a Crown International film. Hi there, welcome back to Apatros Review, your guide to the wild world of science fiction, action, horror cinema with me, your host, Mila Sipka. If you want to spell my name, just look at the channel name. Now, in this episode, we take a look at another film from the Pure Terror set from Mill Creek. And this is a 1982 Crown International feature called Double Exposure. Actually, there are a couple of films called Double Exposure, but this is the 1982 version. Now, this film actually has a copyright date of 1981, but was actually premiered in limited release in the US on the 3rd of September 1982. Now, this print was part of the Mill Creek 50 film box set Pure Terror. There are other releases of the film out there, but if you got very little money to spend and you're not really a fan of the film, but curious to see it, I don't recommend it though, then getting the Pure Terror set will solve that problem, as even if you don't like the film, there are 49 other films on the set and some of them bound to be in your favour. Now, another of the many Crown International Pictures catalogue features acquired by Mill Creek for the many assorted box sets, this time for Pure Terror, Double Exposure is a cheap and seriously misogynistically nasty early era slasher flick that is in some ways a remake of an earlier film, The Photographer, with an almost identical plot. With a cast that includes a convicted child molester who plays the film Psycho, who's dead now. This lousy movie actually looks like it was made in the late 1970s or so, given the fashions and soundtrack on display. The story concerns a photographer who shoots girly pics for men's magazines, who keeps having dreams where his models die in various ways. But to his shock, the dreams constantly come true. That being said, he might not be the killer, but the real psycho is somebody close to him. Very close. Now, while for some fans, this might be trash enough for a good choice for a late-night exploitation movie fix, I found this to be just nastily misogynistically piece of shit, typical of the catalog from Crown International, a company that specialized in making exploitation trash for the drive-in market until the direct-to-video market killed their business model in the late 1980s. That being said, at least some of Crown's films, Death Machines for example, were bad enough to be considered enjoyable. Basically, it's so bad it's good. As for that remark about a child molester, I won't mention his name since he doesn't deserve it, but in case you ask, the guy was convicted of molesting a friend's 11-year-old daughter 5 years after his 1991 retirement from acting, and accosted 2 other girls, eventually confirmed to be a pederast, and sent 6 years in prison. If you don't believe me, look it up. I'll give you a clue, it's a guy with 1 arm, 1 leg. I absolutely fucking hate child molesters. People who abuse children only end up in hell. Anyway, enough of that rant. Even without that issue, this is an absolutely dire film. This unholy fucker is extremely boring, has a plethora of bad acting, nobody seems convinced of their roles here, and the pace is dull. To give it even a terrible movie its very limited due credit, the ending twist is quite interesting, although realistically makes no sense even in the scope of the movie's story. Anyway, if you like this film, I won't knock you for it, but I personally hated it. What can you expect from a film that films its killings of women with a leering eye that makes the cameraman look like a creep? And there's already one real-life creep in this movie. One creep too many. Double Exposure is scripted by the Apatros grading barrel with a dreaded D-, 1 out of 10. This is crap stuff. Now for gore nudity, a little blood but not overly gory despite the body count. And there is plenty of nudity here, boobs here and there, and a brief full frontal from Theresa Mackey. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. I know it's kind of a crap film, but anyway. I've got a little something special coming up for Halloween, so keep an eye out for that. Coronaween's back. Oh, I think this will be the last year we do Coronaween. We'll see about that. Now, I do not do requests, but if you want to have any questions about DVDs that you think I can answer, or if you want to see if I have particular films in my collection, just hit me up in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer. Hope you guys are staying safe, take it easy, and that's it for this review. See ya.